Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM and 92.7. My name is Bediako Baidoo. The news is also live on Kasmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Residents of Akwatia caution newly elected MP for the area, Bediako Baidoo, to deliver on his promise of development to the constituency or risk being voted out in 2028. Also coming up on the program, as NPP broods over its defeat in Tuesday's by-election, we attempt to find answers as to what went wrong for the opposition party. Later on the program, former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu urges the ECOWAS court to deliver judgment in her favor after the Attorney General failed to file a response to a case where she's challenging her suspension. Let's begin from Akwatia, where the Electoral Commission AC officially declared the National Democratic Congress candidate Bediako Baidoo winner of the Akwatia constituency by-election. According to the final certified results from all 119 polling stations across 21 electoral areas, Baidoo secured 18,199 votes, that's 54.30%, defeating the New Patriotic Party MPP candidate Solomon Sumadu, who polled 15,235 votes, representing some 45.46%. Owusu Patrick of the Liberal People's Party had 82 votes, representing 0.24%. Well, Bediako's victory increases the NDC seats in Parliament to some 184, giving it a two-thirds control of the 276 chamber. The MP-elect is confident that the mandate given him will be fully utilized for the general benefit of his constituents.
It is not just mere confidence out of nothing. It was born out of the good work we had done. After engaging the people, we read their reaction towards the message we gave them, and we saw that it had really imbibed. They gave us a hope, some hope of a sort, which hope has resulted to what we see today. I mean, we've always been very confident. I told you, I don't know whether I told you guys that we've been in this game for a while. If you are in it and you are losing, you will know, except maybe if you don't want to be honest to yourself. I told you what we were working out at that moment I spoke to was with regards to the gap. But as for the win, what are we witnessing? We've won. Development. We've always said that, you see, Akwatia's game has always been with regards to mining. You can't take away the mining. Okay, we only have to do it lawfully. That's what we're going to work on. Where we are now, the place was in darkness. If you recall, we did the same coalition here and we had to put on some solar panels and all the lamps and all that. Today, and it wasn't because of the by-elections. It was even done before. Today, we have electricity. It is the first step towards getting GCD back on track, which can employ thousands of people. There are other things we are looking at.
And you heard that the newly elected Member of Parliament for the Akwatia constituency, Bediako Baidoo, and we'll be speaking to a political analyst, Dr. Samuel Friye, very shortly. But the residents of Akwatia have cautioned the newly elected MP to deliver on his promise of development to the constituency or risk being voted out in 2028. The NDC candidate emerged victorious in Tuesday's closely fought election, defeating the MPP Solomon Sumadu with nearly 3,000 votes. Well, the promise of development from his government, excited residents who spoke to Sri FM say that they would hold him to his words. And as you know, we've had our colleague Mawena Egbeta in there, and he interacted with them. Here's his report.
It's a morning after the Akwatia by-election. We know there is a winner now. Bediako Baidoo has emerged victorious after that keenly contested election with nearly 3,000 votes difference from the by-election which happened yesterday. As of now, the Akwatia township is still buzzing from the effects of a by-election which saw all of Accra descend to this mining town in the eastern region. The police service, which was deployed heavily in their numbers with over 30 plus personnel at a polling station each in the 119 polling stations, have begun rounding up themselves and are headed to Accra. In terms of the activism from the political parties, both the NPP and the NDC, we've not seen much of the NPP following the determination of the polls, but for the NDC, they as well have begun to pack their baggages, having delivered yet another seat for the governing party, and are on their way to their respective regions and constituencies as well. We are here as well with constituents, residents of Akwatia who partook in that election yesterday, have now their member of parliament, what they make of the process and the determination as has become that Bediako Baidoo is their member of parliament elect. Opening medawasisa kasa abatwa no abana wiye wadwentre efa ho ne sen na candidate a moyi no se okwa akodi manim ewo mrahye badwafie
yo medase medawoni watiefo na ase kakra meka se de di kan yebeda nyame ase se abatwa no sha ase no na pinchen ho bat yetu aba ne wiye no ehun se bibia eda na akwam yebesra manfo no se asundwa yenya no yame asundwa ni ntra ho saa na dodo adwen amanfo nya ye se Akwatia de yetu aba ye ntokwa no sha nkonkan se Akwatia nya ntokwa ne yeko ha yedo ye ho yete ye ho ase yesre MP na ye ni se yesre na adwuma ne ye de ahye ne nsa tie se oba no adwuma ye de ahye ne nsa o mema Akwatia mpuntuo no enkosoro amasa Akwatia mpuntuo no kosoro a akonwa ne de obetuna so ache aso ma Akwatia mpuntuo na kosoro de Akwatia de onum ye se ne sitie tie mpuntuo na kosoro a o first time na
let's speak to another person, and he says that they are thankful that it's been very peaceful. The member of parliament, they are happy that he's won, but they are asking that the developments be important, else he will not survive in the 2028 elections. Boss, also wadwen chere fa ho ne saying yahwe stala abatwa no koye wadwen muyi no no
madwen chere ne say I'm saying about one. Yet ye him say about 1 year 2 year 2024. Ye him say NDC ye din kunim. But your opponent today MPP for no na mo pese o me dey hunu bi ni ade bi shem. And so Akwatia no first now me pass 6 polling station during Baba Jama time no. I this are confusion ba na Akwatia MP both MPP NDC ye baako. They say, NDC is one MPP ni cry ya unka say BBC. But cran phone na no di good social media no so ya de bi say ntokwa na ade but Akwatia ntesa. Akwatia ntesa. Na ya dasi, ya da police for na se pa. Mo IGP abaye Akwatia no. Ya da na se. Wa ma ya nti basa bia. Na momo no abato na ya to ye no. Ya da Akwatia ma nyina ase. E che say, o hwe Bediako Baidoo ene Asemedu a difference no oni ehun say obetimi lead Akwatia Bediako ana nyame anso adom so yetimi di aba no ama no na mum mpa ne ebo ama se onyankop na mputuduma Akwatia nya no since 92 development bi ebe pa Akwatia bi NDC peace na deba development bi ebe bia for the past Ekufu administration 8 years nothing anything no campaign omu nya message bia emfa ma ye campaign ka sem papa chiro no mo ye entinu ye de ni enim say Bediako Baidoo de e kwam bia so Akwatia for beto aba man because ye Akwatia enya mpuntuo o hwe Akwatia town roads ni nyina ebu bie ni wo ye papa from main gate to Kedekwanso, and a quota, to Akwatia, and a quota, Diakanina, a rough road. At yes, threat, Bediako Baidoo. And Mr. John Dramani Mahama, obey. Yes, Ren say, on Yakwatia, Nam Puntunu, Embran, or the Puntunu bar. On the MSS Akwatia City in Wafa. So to be put to a bank one dia, Akwatia City in Wafa.
And he as well expressing a similar sentiment and saying that he believed Bediako Baidoo was going to win, and that as a supporter of the NDC, he's a taxi driver here as well. They knew he development, which has been ringing quite loudly here. Mommy, yemfa also intratwo wajinche fa ni akoso nyina so ene de wen.
Yo, do na na mi nua be manaka. Am sika kra me de be ka ho ni say yeda Ewurade ase. So ma bibie nsi yeda ye man panin so ase. Say wa ma bambofo abebo ye ho ban. Ma bibie awi asumdwe mu a ya ntin atenka boni bia. Ye hu say anopo ye omo kwa Ewurade fo mo kodu asumdwe mu. Na esre ye papa ya to abama ni say ye pa ni chonfa so ye oyo se ne do odo ato abama no no. Eyi no no. Omla nombe ye mba ni yesko ejuma bie ni onom nam se be ho na onyem. Be ma so me na fe de no ohyehyehye. Esre na ni die mu a se Ewurade oni ye papa nkambom no mo be ye mpontu dwuma bi wa ha ma kwa no SS krampo no nyanya enko university obe ye bibi kakra no no so de aboa ne ho se be ye a enkwala na bra bomba mba ye basa esre o ma ni die mu a ye dana.
And you heard that woman ending that report filed by Mawina Egbeta. And still on this, Deputy Director of Elections of the National Democratic Congress, Rashid Tanko Computer, has said that the party will insist that the Member of Parliament for New Jabin South, Michael Otribefi, resigns from his position. He says that if Mr. Befi does not resign voluntarily, the NDC will petition the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, for the MP seat to be declared vacant. This is after the New Jabin MP had sworn to resign from his position if the NDC candidate did not win the Akwatia by-election. Listen to exactly what he said earlier.
The margin will be very slim. I believe we'll win the election, but the margin will not be too wide. But we'll win. We'll win, I'm telling you, because of what the work we have done. We have engaged, we have engaged, we have campaigned, we have prosecuted a campaign that has not happened in the history of this constituency before. We have done whatever we have to do. We've done everything we need to do. We've done it. We're forced starting these elections, and confidently, I'm telling you, mark my words. I can even tell you that if we lose this election, I'll resign as a member of parliament. I'm telling you, we'll win these elections. We'll win. If we lose these elections, I'll resign as a member of parliament. I'm telling you, we'll win. By close of day Tuesday, you will see that we have won elections.
By close of day Tuesday, you see we've won the election. So you heard that earlier, Michael Befi swearing that he would resign from his seat as a member of parliament for New Jabin if the MPP lost the election, which by now you're aware that the party lost. And the NDC says it will not take any of that, as it insists that the MP must resign, and saying it will not take any of that. Following that, the MP apologized for going beyond what he meant to say, and asked that he didn't mean what he said. But Rashid Tanko says the NDC will insist that he resigns from his position.
It's not only Tamale. We are going to Michael Befi constituency.
He says he's apologized and he went too far.
We're not accepting it.
You're not accepting his apology?
We're not accepting the apology. He must resign. If he doesn't resign, Ghanaians will not take politicians serious. We must be serious. They must hold us to our words. Whatever comes out from my mouth, they must take me serious. I can't just stand here and make allegations, say certain things, and then within 24 hours, do you know that he came in here when we were about to start the coalition, beaming smile, telling me that we were winning the thing, until I showed him on my phone that, my friend, you have lost the election, I'm coming to your constituency for by-election. Then he started perspiring. That's the time he got to know that things have changed. And then he quickly ran and said, he's not going, he has to apologize.
And I heard Rashid Tanko Computer. He's Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the National Democratic Congress. Let's get a quick word from political analyst Dr. Samuel Efree. Doc, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah, good afternoon, Beatrice.
Let me first get your reaction to the NDC's win.
Well, the NDC had a purpose. At the same time, they were organized and went in for the Akwatia to win. And all strategies that they put in place were at work. And again, they went in with developmental agenda, which is a peculiar need of Akwatia, the people of Akwatia. If you can realize or identify from their concerns, you realize that they have been lacking in terms of development. And that is what the NDC used to catch the minds of these voters to vote for them. So it's a strategy that they've implemented, and it has worked for them. And that is a good thing for the party of the NDC.
A number of people are worried about the MPP and why it's really lost massively a lot of votes from 2024 up until now. What would be your advice to the party as it thinks of reorganizing itself ahead of 2028?
I think, Beatrice, what the MPP is lacking is that the center of the party, that is the national executive, have always been saying that the national executive could have resigned in bulk the moment the party lost the elections, because the party has lost at least confidence in them. So it has made it very difficult for them to organize and also come together as one to effectively execute the party strategy for any kind of party activities. Because of that, it has made most of the national executive the neck to always take some of their control. So the problem actually is the national executive, which have made the party to be ineffective in a way. And that is how things are. Because if you are not united, if you realize that some of them will not go in for will not go in for the positions again. So their commitment, and also the internal wranglings here and there, is not making the party united to go in for some of these elections as a single entity with a common purpose. And that is what is making the MPP. I think the MPP should look back and then try to reorient themselves, rebrand them, reposition themselves, because if you are not on the ground, if you don't undertake research to find out, and at the same time they have left government, I think about 8 months now, and whatever you go back to the people, you have to use what you came to power, what you have achieved for them, and that was the missing link between the MPP and the NDC in Akwatia. And it's unfortunate that the party need to come to terms with their loss in 2024. At the same time, try to put the executive, people who are committed, people who at least need to make sure that they have something in their shelves. If not, they will still be wallowing in these kind of challenges in their political activities. And that is what the party need to consider.
Doc, you talk about the executives or the National Executive Council of the party itself. What we are hearing is that beyond the center, as it were, of the party itself, we heard of big wigs of the party going to Akwatia even ahead of the by-election. But what we are hearing is that they rather went there campaigning for themselves instead of the candidates that they should have backed to win this election. How do you take that, and moving forward, how do you expect these big shots as well to work with everyone to ensure that the party is united towards one focus and purpose?
Beatrice, the party is lacking the center to coordinate all whatever goes on within the party. And you know that, as I said earlier, the national executive is the pivot of everything. So, and all those candidates or whoever that are concerned that went to Akwatia, they don't respect these executives. The current executive doesn't have the weight to command or to take control of the party. So you realize that the big shots in the party, as they want to achieve their personal goals to become the flag bearer, do things on their own without even the executives trying to even coordinate the activities of these personalities involved. So the center is not holding this time, and that is what the MPP is craving into. And it's very, very bad because when you listen to all the campaigns that went on, you realize that, as you said, they were all doing some individual campaigns because of what is ahead in January 31st. And that is what they went there to do. So there's no a coordinated campaign for the Akwatia by-elections. There was no a strategy that was purposeful for all of these people that are involved for them to execute for the Akwatia by-elections. And that was what happened. So the MPP need a big, should I use the word reset, for whatever the party, so that they can reposition and rebrand themselves for an effective election ahead. If not, I don't think that the party is ready for any elections.
Dr. Samuel Freer, thank you so much for speaking to us.
My pleasure, Beatrice.
And you have the political analyst, Dr. Samuel Freer, giving us his thought on the just ended Akwatia by-election and what the NPP needs to do moving forward. Some 21 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll tell you more about what former Chief Justice Sofaa Akofo has been saying and reactions to her exclusive interview for us.
Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Some 22 minutes past the hour of 12. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu is urging the ECOWAS court to deliver judgment in her favor, insisting the Attorney General has failed to file a response to the case within the required time. Her lawyers today filed processes alleging the 30-day timeline provided in the rules for response to be filed have not been complied with by Ghana. Let's take a closer look at the reliefs the former CJ is seeking from the court in this fresh case or fresh move at the ECOWAS court. An order of this honorable court that the plaintiff or applicant, that's former CJ, has made out a case entitling her to the relief sought in the originating application. An order of this honorable court entering a default judgment in this suit in favor of the plaintiff or applicant, in this case the former CJ, due to failure of the defendant or respondent, that's the Republic of Ghana, to file a defense. And for such order or any orders as this court may deem fit. The main concern that the court rules require responses to case to be filed within 30 days. The Republic of Ghana has failed, neglected to file a defense within the timeline, and this means that the Republic of Ghana has abandoned the right to file a defense. Meanwhile, former Chief Justice Sofaa Akofo says the embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu did not receive a fair hearing in the process that led to her removal. She explained that the matter was treated almost like a treason trial. The decision followed President Mahama's receipt of the Article 146 Committee of Inquiry report, which investigated petitions against Justice Tokonu. The 5-member committee, chaired by Justice Gabriel Scott Kwaman, recommended her removal on grounds of stated misbehavior. President John Mahama subsequently removed the CJ Gertrude Tokonu from office on Monday, the 1st of September. Here's former Chief Justice Sofaa Akofo speaking to my colleague Joseph Akable in an exclusive interview.
When I was Chief Justice, I was walking on tiptoes. When am I going to be accused of misconduct? When am I going to be accused of incompetence? And are these and these are not. So to me, they lack the gravity. They lack the gravity that would lead to a grave outcome, such as the removal of the head of an institution of justice. I've deliberately phrased myself that way. It trivializes the position, and I wonder what this is going to lead to further on along the line, because every judge is fair game and every chief justice is also fair game.
I mean, is that to suggest that you suspect there could be a ripple effect in that?
Oh, definitely. It's not suspect. I foresee, not tomorrow, maybe not next year, maybe not in 5 years' time, but along the line, yes, unless those provisions are dealt with effectively in a revised constitution.
Justice Akwatia also stressed that the recommendation of the Supreme Court judges to be the president is largely procedural, not a constitutional requirement. She was reacting to Justice Tokonu's decision to submit a list of nominees directly to the president instead of through the Judicial Council.
Say that a decision is made, a judicial determination is made by a high court judge who by the constitution does not have that jurisdiction, but they went ahead and made that judgment. Is that sufficient to get rid of the judge? Is it? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, that decision is appealable, right? And would be appealed against and ought to be appealed against. And in any case, if it's unconstitutional, it is without effect. It is null and void, right? To me, if you make a recommendation, which is not the recommendation that ought to be made, or the method, the mode by which you make the recommendation is not in accordance with the process. And I need to point out that it's one of the unfortunate things, that I noticed when I was Chief Justice, that the process for selecting and then for recommending people for appointment had a way of changing from time to time.
And you heard the former Chief Justice of Akwatia in that exclusive interview with my colleague Joseph Akable. Let's speak to Dr. Kwekwanane Jinde. He's a law lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Sir, the former CJ or Chief Justice of Akwatia is of the opinion that the dismissed CJ did not receive fair hearing. Do you share the same view?
Well, thank you very much. Very good afternoon to your cherished listeners and viewers. I've made my position clear on several platforms that, you see, we all have to have respect for the law. So that if somebody is supposed to appear before a committee of inquiry to determine his fate as the Chief Justice, we all need to follow the due processes as laid down by the law. But from the very beginning, the way the petition was submitted, and even they set up the committee and the Chief Justice was not served, she has to go and an appeal before they have to. You see, all these processes, it gives the impression that you have a predetermined position.
So you think that's
that is the impression you create. But as far as the processes, submitting the petition to the president in consultation with Council of State, setting up a committee, all those processes are. But during the sitting, the processes that went on.
I'm sorry, sir, we lost you a bit. Did you say that the processes were also not followed properly?
You know, who represented the former Chief Justice?
I'm sorry, sir. I just wanted you to repeat a point because I missed what you said. Did you say that the process itself was not also thoroughly followed?
Well, what I'm saying is that from the very beginning, receiving the petition, submitting it to President in consultation with Council of State, setting up a committee, those processes are in order. But when it came to the sitting of the committee, the processes that they adopted, some of them are very questionable. Some of them were very questionable because they started the processes even without notifying the Chief Justice as to the charges being brought against her. Even the people petitioning against her, she did not know them until she made this public announcement, and then she was served with those documents. I mean, if I'm to appear before a court, I have to be served. I have to be put on notice. Look, Mr. A, Mr. Y, or Mr. Z is suing you for this particular reason.
I'm sorry, sir. We're running out of time, but let me ask your thought very briefly in like 30 seconds. People think that the former CJ, who is a member of the Council of State, bound by the decision of the Council of State, should not have come out publicly to talk about it. What do you say?
They wanted to cross-examine the petitioners, but it was refused. You see, if you look at the processes, there are a whole lot of question marks.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure you got my question. I'm asking the question about the former CJ, who is a member of the Council of State, coming out publicly to talk about the decision of the Council of State and people saying that she shouldn't have.
Well, the Council of State, their role is advisory. They're supposed to counsel the president on some of these matters. And the Council of State, they work as a body. So if at that level she did not agree, she would have made her point there. But that does not take away her right to express an opinion on an important legal issue such as this.
We'll have to end it here. Dr. Kwekwa Nane Ajinte, a law lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. Thank you so much for joining us on the Midday News on Sri FM 92.7. Coming up shortly is Business Daily. Bismarck Wusa is on standby.
3 FM.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your tickets. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's smarts we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596-920-833 or 0302-200-390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us for the 4th Made in Ghana Bazaar by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with its stakeholders at the Accra International Conference Center. 5th to 7th September, 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. daily. Themed, Championing Economic Diplomacy, Connecting Producers, Markets and Opportunities. Exhibitors include Ghanaian businesses and embassies. The bazaar promotes Ghana's products abroad and fosters international trade. Enjoy Latif Abubakar's Ghana Must Go and other vibrant entertainers plus free entry. Industry. Sponsors Ghana Exim Bank, GNPC Green Opal Properties, Undertech Ghana, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GRA, Free Zones Authority, Ghana Shippers Authority, Upsol Consult, We Shop Africa, and B5 Plus. Beverage partner, Twillium Industries. Clothing partners, ATL and Wooden. Official media partners, GBC, Multimedia, and SP Agency. The 4th Made in Ghana Bazaar at AICC, 5th to 7th September. Connect and promote Ghana's goods to the world.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number, or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Mumu or card if you are abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismarck Hausa. Coming up this afternoon, Ghana's inflation hits 4-year low in August, declining for 8th straight month. We will hear from government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu.
Overall prices actually fell by 1.3% between July and August 2025, meaning that there's some relief for households once inflation is coming down, and also once prices fell between July and August.
And Ghana intensifies crackdown on illicit financial flows. We'll bring you details of 2024 National Anti-Money Laundering, Financing of Terrorism and Proliferation Financing Risk Assessment Report. Plus, Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index dips by 20% despite surge in trading activity. We'll bring you details. Thanks for your company. Now to the details. Inflation for August 2025 in Ghana continued its downward trend, reaching a 4-year low of 11.5%. This marks the 8th consecutive month of decline, slowing from 12.1% in July 2025. Government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu attributes the drop to a significant slowdown in the prices of food and other essential items, signaling a decrease in the inflationary pressures that have been impacting the economy.
As the data show, inflation is falling steadily. Prices rose by 11.5% in August 2025, down from 12.1% in July. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the lowest inflation rate we've seen in almost 4 years, and it marks the 8th month in a row of decline. Overall prices actually fell by 1.3% between July and August 2025, meaning that there's some relief for households once inflation is coming down, and also once prices fell between July and August. Food prices are also easing. Food inflation is now 14.8%, and non-food prices fell by 2.5% in 1 month. Non-food prices are also moderating. Non-food inflation declined to 8.7% from 9.5% in July. And here, prices of non-food items reduced slightly by 0.1% between July and August. Goods inflation slowed too. Inflation for goods dropped to 13.9% from 14.2% in July. And yet overall prices of goods fell by 1.6% between July and August 2025.
And that was government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu. Moving on, Ghana is intensifying its efforts to combat illicit financial flows, which pose a significant threat to the nation's economic stability. This is contained in the 2024 National Anti-Money Laundering, Countering the Financing of Terrorism and Proliferation Financing Risk Assessment Report. There is more in the following 3 Business News Desk report.
The report highlights that Ghana's strategic location and increasingly sophisticated financial system have made it a prime target for illicit activities, with key drivers including drug trafficking, corruption, and fraud. Fraud remains a major concern, affecting a wide range of sectors. The Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, defines fraud to include forgery and falsification, with common schemes like false pretenses, invoicing fraud, and cyber-related offenses such as romance scams and email compromise. The report notes that urban centers with their higher internet penetration are more susceptible to these crimes than rural areas. Data from the Narcotics Control Commission reveals a sharp increase in drug trafficking investigations since 2020. In response, authorities have ramped up asset seizure and confiscation efforts, seizing 208 assets in 2023 alone. This reflects a strong commitment to disrupting the financial networks that support drug trafficking. While less prevalent than the other offenses, forgery continues to impact key sectors. Between 2019 and 2023, Ghana investigated 2,283 forgery cases, with 115 directly linked to money laundering. The same period saw 147 prosecutions and 25 successful convictions. The report also stresses the cross-border nature of these crimes, linking them to a wide range of transnational activities, including terrorism financing and human trafficking.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report on Ghana fighting back against economic and financial crime. Now, the Bank of Ghana has increased the amount of foreign exchange forward auction to commercial banks. Information gathered indicates that earlier this week, the central bank, through a 7-day forward auction, sold $208 million to the commercial banks. It initially offered $100 million, and the amount was later increased to $208 million. Official results also indicated that the $208 million auction was sold at a rate of 11.80 cedis to 12.15 cedis. However, by the close of the session, quotes stood at 12 cedis 05 pesos and 12 cedis 15 pesos. Before we go, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index experienced a 20.2-point decline on Tuesday, September 2, 2025, closing at 7,301.17 points. Despite this drop, the benchmark index held a strong year-to-date return of 49.54%. The following 3 Business News Desk report has the details.
In contrast to the broader market, the GSE Financial Stock Index advanced by 1.2 points, settling at 3,413.16 and maintaining a year-to-date return of 43.36%. Trading activity saw a significant surge, with 2,760,765 shares traded, marking a remarkable 404.55% increase from the previous session. The total value of these trades reached 10,573,993 cedis 46 pesos. Among the top performers, GCB Bank saw its share price rise to 10 cedis 5 pesos, while Total Energies Marketing Ghana closed at 31 cedis 96 pesos, recording its first gain in over a month. No Gold ETF also advanced, reaching 409 cedis 16 pesos. However, MTN Ghana continued its downward trajectory, with its shares price falling to 3 cedis 85 pesos. The telecom giant dominated market activity, accounting for the majority of the day's trades with 2,680,784 shares traded, valued at 10.32 million cedis. Other most traded equities included Ecobank Transactional Incorporated, SIC Insurance, and GCB. Market capitalization remained steady at 1.49 billion cedis.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report on Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index dipping by 20% despite surge in trading activity. And that will be all for Business Daily on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismarck. Also, for more business stories, please check out our website 3news.com. Urban Blend is next with Black Rasta. Please stay.